So it's been a little while since these updates have been going on at the farm. We have been just going through winter, basically. So it was our first big dry winter here at the farm, and what I guess didn't really anticipate is that things literally just stop. The grass stops growing, everything just stops. So it feels like coming out of hibernation, really, because I haven't really done much, if anything at all. But we're definitely in spring, and spring is hit about 4 weeks early. And we know it's in spring because all of these things, which are ornamental pears, they're all properly blossoming, and they do blossom pretty early. But we also know that you can't really see right here at the end of the creek is a interstate wattle that it's like a New South Wales wattle that actually blossoms really, really early, almost like midwinter, but that kicked off 4 weeks early. The actual blackwoods, which are the proper native wattles to around here, they're already in proper bloom. So yeah, we are unequivocally in spring, so don't believe the calendar. Now, a lot of updates happening because spring is hitting early. We've got a lot of work going on around the farm, so I'm going to be documenting as much as I can, but today is our first big step towards the cellar door being built, the farm, the actual vines being planted, as well as we're building a house, because I can fill you in all about what's happening with this house, because it's bittersweet. In the next couple of weeks, this whole block here is going to be completely deep ripped and sort of resurfaced a little bit. Again, we'll get into the pros and cons of how we ended up making that decision. I'm not overly stoked about it, but it is the way it is. But that's going to be planted with Fiano the next couple of months. But we're going to do all the site prep for that. You might note the bridge is now completed, so it's been a bit of a game. I call it a game of hopscotch, because we had to rebuild the driveway so we can get trucks down to deliver the culvert stuff to build this thing, so we can get trucks across the creek to do all the work that we need done over here. So, but the big one that's happening today is this tree. This big old pine tree is coming out. I don't like the idea of getting rid of big old trees, irrespective of whether they're native or not, because often they're homes to birds and various other things. But it is one of these sort of conundrums. We've got to make a bit of a call, because at the back of this shed, which is to be part of the sort of cellar door farm visitation area, all of this site around me is going to be basically cut and then leveled all the way down to this height down here, which really means that there's not a lot of earth supporting this tree. And if you remember from really about sort of 10 months ago, when we set this whole hill on fire, you can see part of this tree actually got hit as well. So the tree's struggling. It'll survive, but if we do earthworks down here, it's probably going to fall. Pine trees aren't really that deep rooted. And so today's the day. Stay tuned. We'll give you a bit of an update once it's coming down, and a bit of a walk around the site. But springtime is a go. We're a go. And there's a lot going to be happening over the next 4 weeks. But I reckon let's go check out what the farm looks like, huh?
Gone.
Where's the tree gone? See? It's gone.
Oh.
Well, these guys have done a bang-up job in getting this thing out. So shout out to Daniel Fell's tree felling, because this one was a bit of a scary one. And they managed to actually prevent the pine tree from hitting both the shed, and somehow had managed actually to save our plum tree. I'm not too sure of the future of that tree, I'll be honest. Yeah, but check this out. It's a whopping great big. Look at that. I'm not exactly a massive fan of chopping down trees just in general, but if you're not from Australia, we have a lot of bushfires here, and these things go up like it is no tomorrow, and they really fuel bushfires.
Really cut.
They cut the tree down from there, up there.
Why?
Why? Because it was in the way, and it might, if we get too much rainfall and we remove some of this stuff here, it might fall onto that shed.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Not good.
There is a lot more sunshine now coming towards the back of this shed. Yeah, we're going to need to try to tackle it somehow with some kind of shade. So rest assured, we are going to be planting stuff or trying to transplant some stuff. It does give us sort of some fun options further up here where we can sort of clean up some of this slope, some of the non-native or invasive stuff. I don't know, what would you guys recommend we plant being in the Adelaide Hills in South Australia? What provides great shade that happens to be native and I don't need to worry growing too big that'll fall on that shed. So this kind of gives you a bit of scope as to what we're doing over the course of the next couple of weeks. So this is where our house is and a bunch of sort of shedding and cold stores here. This whole block is the block that we removed this time last year. We're going to be deep ripping this twice actually, once down and then once back up again, banding in a whole bunch of chicken manure to be able to fix up some of the nitrogen issues that we actually have on that block. This block over here, what's also known as the protea block, just because I guess there's proteas that used to grow there. I'm not too sure why they called it that, but it's called that. You might be able to spy some workers in here at the moment. So they're actually removing a lot of the clips. I can see all the wire has been removed, as well as, for the most part, most of the wire has been removed, as well as all of the irrigation dripping. So all of that's going to be pushed over, ready for planting this time next year. So we have Fiano going in the ground over here. We're going to have some more Fiano, completely different clone, going up on top here. And then you can't really spy it, but down by the shed here, we've got a whole bunch of leveling going on for the cellar door build, as well as the market garden. 3 big jobs, all sort of really closely packed in. So there's going to be a lot of work happening on this side of the property pretty soon. Then we'll go for a bit of a drive up and I'll show you where there's something else exciting happening. So this is the other really exciting project that's also happening starting this week. So we are on the complete opposite side of the property. So this is what we call Smith's Road over here, which is a dirt road. And at the top of a rise, I might try to get a bit of a map together so you can sort of see where we are. But this is where we're going to build a house. But of course, there's a whole bunch of orchard here already from the previous growers. They've done an awesome job, which, by the way, working with the previous owners has been an absolute dream for us. They've been super helpful and super supportive because obviously we've come in and we're tearing up a lot of their hard work, but they've been really supportive of us in trying to turn this property into something that sort of we envisage it for the future. What's going on? This probably leads into another whole video entirely about the bureaucracy that Laura and I have had to go through just to get to this point, because it's been 2 years and only now are we starting to do anything significant or anything major. There's some good reasons for it and there's some terrible reasons for it. Yeah, we'll fill you in on how all of this goes in the coming week. What are you doing? So this here is another block that was the Granny Smith block. So there was all these Granny Smith apples here, traditional style orchard. So you can see these are all trellised up here. Beautiful orchard, but unfortunately the wrong variety, because Granny Smith's, like, I'm not sure if you're aware, you're probably not. The bottom's kind of fallen out of the apple industry for the most part, and that's why we're seeing a lot of people acquire apple orchards and turn them across into grapes, because it's sort of quite the natural progression of things, if you will. This would be the other block that we have earmarked for planting this time next year in 12 months time with, you guessed it, more Fiano. So this, I know we're going to get a better soil stuff here, but while I was just standing here, I thought I would actually showcase just the sort of soil type that we've got here. You see it's quite clay rich, but it's full of this sandstone we call schist. Amazing soil type for what we're doing up here, especially with growing grapes, because it obviously provides enough organic matter and water and like moisture holding capacity without getting too bogged down, so we can actually still get drainage in the soil. So we are looking for this sort of schist type rock. We'll do some more soil pit stuff, I think. If you guys are interested, jump in the comments. I know we just spoken about cutting down pine trees, and you might be looking at these going, what are they doing there? These aren't pine trees. These are native. These are casuarinas. So these are what we would call she oaks. Firstly, you can tell if you know them, if you know, you know. You would probably be able to easily tell them from the color of the pine or needles. They're a little bit brown as opposed to the darker green of a pine tree. The bark, big giveaway, but the biggest giveaway is this stuff here. The actual needles themselves are kind of sectional. So If I pull one of these off, usually pine needles don't separate bit by bit like that. They're one solid needle. So that's the big giveaway. If you've missed the most obvious other signs, that she oaks have segmented little needles there. So these are all native. We love these. We love Casarinas. Maybe that's what we should replace the pine tree with. More she oaks. Why not? Let me know. What's Mummy doing? I think Mummy's going for a run. She's killing it!
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to lift down or are you going to run?
No, I'll run.
Oh.
I'll walk.
Or walk. Shall we chase Mummy down the hill? All right, let's go. And this is the other sort of big project that we're going to be doing in the course of the coming weeks and months. This whole block that we've spoken about for ages, you know, the ferns, the hills and stuff, if you've been following along, you kind of know this block pretty well now. This is where the cellar door is going to be. This is where the market garden over here is going to be. We have a bit of an issue. None of it's level. So we're going to get it level. We're going to have to then seed it to prevent all the weeds from coming out. So we're going to be seeding with a subclover and triticale. So at least we're going to be able to get some, again, it's all about nitrogen, getting as much nitrogen into the soil as possible without that being a chemical means. But that's all happening, honestly, within the next couple of weeks. So we're going to have a lot of fun documenting basically the beginnings of the cellar door build as well as the beginnings of the market garden. I believe my greatest enemy is yet to come, and it's probably the 100 or so rabbits that live across this hill. It's going to make my life in a market garden living hell. Anyway, see you soon.